Hey everyone, so today we're diving into a framework that has pretty much changed the entire game for anyone building with React. Seriously, if you've ever tried to take a React app into production and wanted to make it, actually great, then you're gonna want to stick around for this.
All right, let me ask you something. Does this sound familiar? You're building an app with React, you love the component model, it's great, but it's just slow. The initial page load takes forever, setting up routing is a total mess, and don't even get me started on SEO. It's a constant headache, right? Well, you're not alone. These exact problems are why the framework we're talking about today even exists.
So, to really get why this new way is so good, we got to talk about the old way. Let's break down the big challenges that come with traditional React.
Okay, so check this out. This list isn't just a bunch of random issues. It's like a domino effect. See, traditional React is all client-side rendered. That means the browser gets a basically empty HTML page and has to download this huge chunk of JavaScript just to figure out what to show. That's why your initial page loads are so slow. And guess who else hates that? Search engines. They see an empty page and just give up. Boom, there goes your SEO. And on top of all that, you're left to figure out routing and build a whole separate backend from scratch. It's just a mountain of extra work.
But what if there was a better way? What if you could keep all the parts of React you love, but just get rid of all those problems, like right out of the box? Well, this is where things get really good.
See, the solution wasn't just another little library you have to bolt on. No, what we all needed was a real, production-grade framework built on top of React, something designed from day one to handle the messy reality of a live application.
And that framework, as you've probably guessed, is Next.js. It comes from the team at Vercel. And let's be super clear, it's not trying to replace React. It's more like a supercharger for React, making it possible to build incredible full-stack apps in a way that's just so much better. So what is Next.js really? If you have to remember one thing, it's this: full-stack framework. That's the magic word. It means Next.js isn't just for making pretty buttons and UIs. Nope, it's built to handle everything: the front end your users interact with and the back-end logic, the APIs, the data fetching, all in one single project. It's a total game changer.
This chart right here says it all. It's the perfect before and after. On one side, you've got traditional React, create React app, right? Where everything is manual. You have to find a routing library and figure it out. You have to set up a totally separate server for your backend. SEO, good luck. It's a total DIY project. But then look at Next.js. It just flips the script completely. Routing? It's file-based and built-in. Backend APIs? Built-in. Server-side rendering for amazing SEO? You guessed it, built-in. It's what we call batteries included, and it makes a world of difference.
And you might think something this powerful must be complicated to set up, right? Wrong. Getting started is ridiculously easy. It's literally one command in your terminal. You run npx create next app, and bam, you have a complete production-ready app in seconds. No fighting with Webpack, no messing with Babel configs. You just start coding.
All right, so how does Next.js actually pull all this off? Let's look under the hood at some of the magic that makes it work.
Okay, first up, routing. This is so cool. Just forget everything you know about complicated router libraries. In Next.js, your file system is your router. You want a new page at, say, /dashboard? You just create a dashboard folder and put a page.js file inside it. That's it. You're done. It's so simple and intuitive, it feels like cheating. Now, this next concept is probably the biggest mind shift in modern web dev: server components. By default, in Next.js, every single component you write is a server component. This means it runs on the server. It can fetch data, access secrets, do all the heavy lifting, and then it sends pure HTML to the browser, almost no JavaScript. That's what makes your apps load so incredibly fast. Now, what if you need interactivity, like a button that changes state? Simple. You just add one little line at the top of that file, use client. And just like that, it becomes a regular client component that runs in the browser. It's an opt-in model for interactivity, which keeps your app blazing fast by default. Next.js also gives you total control over how your pages are rendered. The first strategy is called static site generation, or SSG. The easiest way to think about it is like pre-baking a pizza. You do all the work ahead of time. When you build your site, Next.js generates all your pages as simple HTML files. When someone visits your site, they get served that pre-baked page instantly from a CDN. It is, without a doubt, the fastest possible way to get content to a user. Okay, but what if your content isn't static? What if it's a dashboard that's always changing? That's where strategy number 2 comes in.
server-side rendering, or SSR. Instead of pre-baking the page, this is like making a pizza to order. Every single time a user requests the page, the server builds it fresh right then and there. This guarantees the data is always 100% up to date, perfect for stuff like a user's profile page or a live data feed.
And then there's the truly mind-blowing one, incremental static regeneration, or ISR. This is where Next.js gives you the best of both worlds. Imagine you serve that pre-baked, super-fast static page to a user. But in the background, you tell Next.js, hey, every minute or so, just rebake this page with fresh data. So users get the insane speed of a static site, but the content never gets stale. It's an absolute game changer for so many websites.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about the front end, but remember, Next.js is a full-stack framework. Let's talk about your new superpowers on the back end.
This is where that all-in-one promise really delivers. You can build your entire API right inside your Next.js app. No more separate Node and Express server. You can run middleware code before a request even hits your page, perfect for authentication. And then there's the stuff it just does for you, automatically, like optimizing your images and fonts for insane performance without you lifting a finger. It's just all there.
I love this quote because it's just so true. Next.js is absolutely SEO first by design. Why? Because it renders your pages on the server, so when Google's crawler comes knocking, it sees a fully formed HTML page, not an empty shell. And on top of that, Next.js gives you a super simple API to manage all your metadata, your titles, your descriptions, everything you need to rank well. It makes doing SEO right feel effortless.
Okay, let's zoom out. We've seen all this incredible power. So the big question is, when should you actually reach for Next.js? Honestly, it's pretty simple. If your project needs any of these things, Next.js should be your go-to. If you need amazing SEO, if you need your site to be blazing fast, if you need a real backend to handle data securely, or you just want that incredible efficiency of having your front end and backend in one place, well, Next.js was built for exactly that. And we're not just talking about small blogs here. Look at the kinds of things people are building with Next.js in the real world. We're talking huge e-commerce sites, complex SaaS platforms, even the front ends for AI applications. These are serious, high-traffic, ambitious projects that need a rock-solid foundation, and they're choosing Next.js to build it on. So this all brings us to one final, really big question. When you look at how Next.js solves so many of the fundamental problems we've struggled with for years, performance, SEO, the whole developer experience, you have to ask, has Next.js become the new default, not just for React, but maybe for building on the web period? It's definitely something to think about.